Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Buffett and Beyond Research Saturday Stock Market Recap. And what a week it was. And today is October 11th, 2025, and it's a Saturday. And remember, folks, if you want to live on this beach at sunrise like Jimmy Buffett used to do, then you've got to learn how to invest even better than Warren Buffett does now. And this week, well, the market made nominal new highs intraday, but gave it all up on Friday. And the market settled in and passed on from the trade war volatility. But all of a sudden, Friday brought us all back to reality. Yeah, China's not giving up without a fight. Relative to the trade war, rare earth minerals, which are on their side, are now on the table in the upcoming discussions on trade with China. Now, our weekly stock analysis video, speaking of China, we look at Taiwan Semiconductor. Before yesterday, it was up 97% year to date. And we talked about this stock in the video, reverting to the mean, and yesterday it did exactly that. But Taiwan Semiconductor is now building plants in the USA, $169 billion it's investing. And remember, Taiwan Semiconductor is on Taiwan, and Taiwan, it was originally part of China. So yeah, that brings all of this into play, doesn't it, over the next coming weeks. And our ETF video, well, the utility ETF topped the list this past week. Can you believe our utility ETF top stocks are up 37% year to date? We have one utility stock that NRG, which is up 88% already this year. Yeah, folks, the utility companies have to build more power plants or increase their utility lines, and increase their utility lines, their power distribution, everything because of those AI plants that are being built. So utility stocks have gone from being income stocks to growth stocks, and we're going to take a look at all of those in this ETF video. And let us look at the S&P 500, and these are the volatility bands, originally called Bollinger Bands because of John Bollinger. And he said this 20-day moving average is kind of a reversion to the mean, and these bands are 2 standard deviations away from the center line, which means that 95% or so of all closings of the market will reside within these 2 bands, and when the market falls outside the bands, it indicates a strong market one way or the other. Like over here, it closed above the band, and the market kept going up, closed above the band, reversion to the mean, and then closed all the way up near the top of the bands, and now, in one day alone, it fell all the way to that bottom band and closed a little bit above it, and on higher volume. So, but we've had this high volume before, right back in here when it touched the 20-day moving average. So we've seen this before on the S&P 500. Problem is it turned this intermediate term indicator down, and that has us a little bit worried with this big move over here. So we'll see what happens coming Monday. Monday's usually a weekday, so all the orders of people that on the weekend are watching the news and watching Friday's stock market shows are going to put in a bunch of sell orders. So we expect the market to open down on Monday unless we get some news over the weekend. And then the market will start to settle in because yesterday's news is yesterday's news. So we'll see what happens. Now with the QQQs, we see the market was just trending up, the QQQs to the Nasdaq 100 stocks, and then on Friday fell below. We talked about reversion to the mean last week, and we can see it fell below this 20-day moving average on its way to the 50-day moving average. Very, very heavy volume because the whole argument with China has to do with rare earth minerals, and rare earth minerals are used in semiconductors, which are used for AI products. Yeah, so you can see that one circle going on there. So these stocks took the hit of most of the downward movement on Friday, even though Friday just everybody sold just everything. And we have this intermediate term indicator up here turning down, but it has turned down before. Remember, right over in here, it came down below this top line over here came down below, and that was barely a reversion to the mean. So now we're below the mean, which is a 20-day moving average. This is the 50-day moving average, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens on Monday. And of course, this indicator, just as in the S&P 500, turned down also. Now, let's look at the SPY. Well, this should be down up here, so we'll just cross that up. 63 down 16 points, or 2.71%. This is portfolio protection, so we're a long way from that. We're about 100 points away from that. So we'll see what happens on Monday, but we are protected should the market do anything really, really stupid. But folks, don't forget, if you're in good stocks, and we are, then it will be the growth of those earnings that overcome everything. So Friday's reaction was just that. It's noise in the market. It's a daily thing, maybe a weekly thing, but we have good stocks that are on a good growth trajectory. And don't forget, China is not the only country in the world that has these rare earth minerals. So we'll see what happens. And then the QQQs are down 14 points, or down 3.41% this week. And yeah, so they took the brunt of the hit this week. The Nasdaq 100 stocks, which are mostly tech and semiconductor stocks. So it took a big hit, but we have protection in place, and so we'll just take it as it comes. So at least you can sleep at night. Yeah, a 12%, 15% correction really hurts the pocketbook, but then again, you're protected after that particular point. So folks, we had an unbelievable week, and then Friday made it more unbelievable, but to the downside rather than the upside. And you just go out, it's the weekend, take your mind off the market, because it'll be open on Monday, and we'll let the market settle in on Monday morning, and then we'll just go from there. So meanwhile, get out for the weekend, go take a walk, get some exercise, be with your family. Maybe, hey, Sunday dinner with the family would be great. But most of all, stay safe, and we'll see you right back here in a couple of days.